All right, we are live, and there's my alarm. All right, let's bring this up. For those watching the replay, as always, skip 5 to 6 minutes ahead because we're going to start in that amount of time. For those who are in here, let me know if you can hear me. Type it in the chat, all that good stuff. Hey, afternoon, Isaiah. Hope your week went fantastic. Let's go to YM. There we go. Sweet. All right. As always, let's give everybody 5 minutes to come in. Glad to hear your week was well. I'll say it later on too. This week was good for me overall in the month. So did great with options. One of my futures account red, the other one green. But overall, futures wise, I ended red for the month because I traded mainly with my larger account. So green on my smaller futures account, red on the bigger account, and then green on options. So good performance this week, or this month rather. It was last week that messed me up with futures because all I pretty much traded last week was just YM. I didn't really trade RTY and stuff like that. And YM was not cooperating. So last week messed me up on that one account. But we're alive. And next month is another month. How do you guys do today? For those who are just coming in, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Give me a yes, a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Switching from options to futures myself, options August got me down real or red good. I was biased to the downside and kept losing. Lesson learned. Sweet. Glad you guys can hear me. NB, I'll just call you that. So NB, yeah, you don't necessarily want to go in with a bias. You always want to go in with what the chart is telling you. If the chart is telling you go long, then you go long. Because if not, you're going to have a real hard time trading. I'll tell you that from experience. So, like, I'll go into a day looking at the chart, and it might say that it may, let's say, the bias may be bullish for whatever it is that I'm looking at. But if the trade and overall trigger short, I'm going to go short, regardless of whatever my bias is or whatever I'm thinking the market might do. All right, we'll start in about 3 more minutes, and we'll go from there. NB and any others, I am releasing, so I have an options course, and I'm adding the futures course to it, not this weekend, but next weekend. So for those who already have my options course, I'm going to add the futures course to it next weekend. And whoever already has the course, you're not going to pay extra for the futures component. I'm just going to update it for free. So anybody who already has it, you get all that for free and don't have to pay for it. For those who may want it and don't have it, let me post the link in the chat because once I add that futures component, the price is going to go up. I posted the link in the chat. I'm a new trader, made 6K last month, lost 11K this month. Ooh, definitely rough on that one. NB, I'm not sure how long you've been looking at my content or what group you know me from. Hey, Kev, I'm not sure what group you know me from, NB, but definitely look at my risk management information because it's going to help you a lot when it comes to risk management. And my channel, look at the trading psychology component because outside of, oh, gotcha, you're in top steps. So the biggest thing is really going to be risk management. Because if you're making that much, or you're also losing that much, there's probably a risk management issue. and potentially an emotional or psychological issue that needs to be addressed. But we're not going to go too deep into that today because that's not what today's class is about. But yeah, from what you mentioned, definitely sounds like that may be what's going on. I had a broker error that cost me 3K before I caught it. Ooh, those are rough. Been there myself. And definitely the tilt, I would be mad too, but you got to let that go. All right. 7:05. Let's start. Welcome, everybody. My name is Advent, and I am not a financial advisor. Anything that you see in this class or any of my content is not financial advice. It is strictly for educational purposes only. Trading does have its risks, so please do your research before you engage in trading. And with that being said, let's bring up the charts. For those who are new to the trade recap class, this is every Friday, 7 p.m. Essentially, what we do here is I'll go over my trades, and then I'll go over your trades next, and I'll give you feedback on what you did well, what you can improve on, so on and so forth. Let's share my screen. There we go. You guys can see my screen? Sweet. Cool. All right. So today I basically took one trade, and I took one trade on futures, and then I took two trades on options. So my first trade today off the watch list, waited all day for this because literally nothing happened for like 2 hours, futures wise anyway. So based on the watch list, I went short under this level. And my first target when I'm shorting the watch list levels is I take profit every 50 points that it goes in my favor. However, this specific day today, since I was being impatient and didn't want to be on the charts any longer than I needed to be, once it broke that level, which finally occurred about 2 hours after market open, which was pretty much right here at 11:30, finally triggered me in. And then I took 40 points from the trigger level. So that was, I think, 55 I got filled in. And then I took about 40. Yeah, I took 40 points on that one, even though later on I hit my 50 points. But like I mentioned, I didn't want to stay on for any longer than I already was. So I just took it off at 40 points, one and done for futures. For options today, I took an NVIDIA trade and an IWM trade. So the futures trade, pretty straightforward. I was in and out in less than 5 minutes. That was easy. So today what got me red on options was this NVIDIA trade to the long side. So based on the watch list, I had a long above this level. And for NVIDIA, I take profit every dollar that it goes in my favor. So my first target that I was aiming for here was 122.16. And as you can see, it didn't hit my target by how much? By about, 40 cents. Didn't hit my target. And then it reversed and stopped me out. And I took that L. It is what it is. Probability just wasn't on our side today. And then the second trade that I took for options was IWM, based off the watch list levels as well. So I went short once we broke below 218.58, and my first target was 218. So that was pretty much here. And then I like to take profit every 50, 75 cents on IWM because those 50, 75-cent moves could be at least 30 to 50% or more on the contracts. So pretty easy money. I got in at about 79.79 on the contracts, and my first target, I think it was like 40% gain, if I recall correctly. So pretty easy trade there. So I went short once it broke this level here at 11:30, and then I took profit here. And then for the runner position, so the rest of my contracts that I had, I moved them to break even once I hit my first target. And then when it came back in reverse, my runners got stopped out, or my other contracts got stopped out once it came back to entry. So I just called it there for a day, and I got off the charts because I don't like being on more than I need to. So pretty straightforward day on those trades. Any questions on that before I look over your guys' trades? On the YM trade or the NVIDIA trade or the IWM trade that I took? Any questions on that? How long is it ideal to stay in a trade? Fantastic question, Kev. It really depends. I just stay as long as it takes until it's the target. So in this case for IWM, pretty much hit the first target, at least that I had for today, in less than 5 minutes. So I got out. For IWM, that one took a little longer. So in this case, let's go back to the 5 minute. So in this case for IWM, I got in here at 11:30, and it hit my target 30 minutes later at 12. My first target at 12 right here. So this took 30 minutes to hit. Generally, when I get into trades, I'm not in the trade for no longer than usually on average 10 to 20 minutes. Usually about 10 to 15 minutes maximum I'm in a trade. Anything above that will be more so if I'm trading options when it's taking forever to hit those targets that I have. But generally for futures, I'm out in less than 10 minutes when it hits my targets. For options, it can be anywhere between 5 minutes, anywhere up to 30 minutes to an hour, depending how fast or slow the market wants to move. Can you go over your entry for NVIDIA trade again? Was it an option? Yeah, I traded options on NVIDIA and IWM today. So Isaiah, when you get the course, it's also going to give you access to my Discord. So in the Discord group, I post my watch list every day. And in the watch list, I give pretty much the exact levels that I'm looking to trade. So for example, today on NVIDIA, the long above was 121.16, which we have right here. And then basically the same candle that got me in, it pretty much got sold right back down and then stopped me out. And yeah, it was an options trade. Did that answer your question? Sweet. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions based on my trades, I'll start going over your trades. One thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the call, for those who are new here, any questions that are not related to going over trades, if you ask me about strategy or like specific things regarding strategy, I'm not going to answer them because they're not related to the class. And it's not necessarily important to the class. We're just going over my trades and your trades. Now, of course, for Kevin or Louis V in the chat, Since he's one of my students, I'll answer his question since, we're working together. But if we're not working together and you're not in my group, then I'm going to be very reluctant to answer your questions that are not in the vein of today's class. Also, going to be holding you guys to a higher standard moving forward. When I'm going over your trades, if you don't give me the information that's on the screen, I'm not going to answer the trade, because I need you to first and foremost, the reason why I'm going to be holding you guys to this standard is because I need you guys to pay attention and collect data on what you're trading. If you forget or don't know when you got in a trade or what ticker you got or what strike price, etc., I'm not going to answer the question or go over your trade. So to hold you to a higher standard and to make you better and more and hold you accountable, I need this information that's on the chart. So if you want me to go over your options trade, I need you to give me all of the information that I have here on the chart. If you want me to go over your futures, forex, or stock or equity trade, I need this information here. And let me add something else. Price entered, price exit. Was it a win or loss? So this is information that I'm going to need from you guys when you give me your trades, or else I'm not going to answer the questions. We're here to get better, not be lazy. Why didn't you reverse the NVIDIA when it failed in reverse? There wasn't a setup for me to take short. That's why. My short level based on the watch list was 116.71, which it didn't hit. Oh, that looks ugly in the chat. Whoops. Might have to clean that up in the chat. Hopefully that made sense in the chat. It's a little dirty there. But yeah, Isaiah, I didn't go short on NVIDIA because I didn't have a setup to go short. I just had the setup to go long. All right. So whatever trades you guys want me to review for you, it could be from today or earlier this week, doesn't really matter. Just give me the information that's on the screen, and then I'll review that trade for you. Friendly reminder for those who are in my group, 100K's group, Trust's group, I think Divine's group, and Top Hat's group. I'm having, is it in Top Hat's group? I think it's in there too that I posted the link. I'm having a class on TradingView tomorrow. So how to set up and pretty much go over all the features of TradingView. So if you are new to using TradingView and you want to learn how to use it, I'm having a class tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to drop the Zoom link in the groups. So be mindful of that. I'm going to drop it 10 minutes before the class starts. It's limited to 100 spots. So if you do want to join, be sure to be there stat, because it's about 10,000 people, actually probably more than that, collectively in all these groups. So it might fill up quick. It will be recorded if you do miss it, but if you want to attend, make sure to be there early. Kev, was this options or was this just regular stock that you took the Chewy trade on? Options? Well, my good sir, I'm going to need all this information right down here before I look at that trade. You're missing the ticker. Well, the ticker I have. You're missing the strike price. You're missing the expiration, the amount you paid for the contract, the time that you entered, and the time you got out. So I need all that information here before I can answer your question and look at your trade. We got 40 minutes, so take your time. Also, for those who are in here, or for those who are watching this replay and only know me on YouTube and nowhere else, let me know if it'll be beneficial for me to post my watch list on Sunday for Monday. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. So looking at the chat, it looks like Louis was the only one that traded this week. Interesting. First of all, Ayo, Sunday is irrelevant to you because I posted in the group Sunday anyways, or sometimes Saturday if I want to just get it over with, but usually Sunday. You're in the group already, so you're already going to get the watch list. You don't got to worry about that. Yeah, this is more so for people who may not be in the group and stuff like that. If they would want me to post it on YouTube just one day out the week, if you want access to the watch list every day, you got to be in my group, or you can be a member of the YouTube channel, and you'll get access every day. I traded, but don't have any questions. Here to see what I can learn. Of course, Ro. Speaking about that, Ro, let me look at what you sent me earlier because I was talking to my brother when you sent me that message. Let's see. Oh yeah, the ICT stuff. Yeah, one thing I'll say about that, Ro, what you mentioned when you messaged me earlier, if you're like kind of guessing or like unsure about a trade, I wouldn't even bother taking it. Like, unless I know what it is that I'm going to take or what I'm trading, then I'm going to take it. If not, you know. Hey, Despond, I usually post the watch list on Sundays as well on Reddit. I posted on what do you call it? I posted in the futures trading subreddit. I posted in the trading subreddit. I'll probably post it like on my actual page, I guess, or what how I guess like my user profile. I think that's how it works. I'll post it there as well for the people that follow me there. Definitely a self-discipline issue, I'll tell you that. But you know, it gets easier. I slipped up myself. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I took a trade that wasn't necessarily my setup. I was missing one component of the setup, and I took it anyway, and I lost. And then I had to go on a Trader Sync and add a new setup called "Not Your Setup." Yeah, yo, your ES or well, rather MES trades, fantastic work. I think one of them was like what 14, 15 points, something like that, maybe more. Super good. Ops. I would be good on that. Excuse me. How would I navigate ES this morning? Let's see. All right, let's hide all of this text. Four-hour. I wouldn't have done anything on ES. When the 4-hour is trading inside and the daily, I'm not touching it. Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything this morning for ES. It did trigger the break on the 4-hour to the downside, but even then, I wouldn't have done anything here because I don't trade during lunch, and it triggered after noon, or like after 12 noon. So I wouldn't have done anything on ES at all, strat wise anyway. Yeah, definitely just a lot of nothing in the morning time. Again, at least the way I trade. All right, ladies and gents, another 5 minutes. If you don't have any other trades that you want me to go over, gotcha, it was shares. All right, cool. All right, let's look at Chewy. I haven't traded Chewy in a long time. All right, let's see. This was a day trade or a swing trade, Kev? A day trade? You entered in at 26 bucks, 835. This doesn't make sense because Chewy didn't hit $26 today at all. It's been above $28 the last like 3 days. It hit it was $26 on Wednesday, not today. Gotcha. So you're probably talking about this day over here. So it was around 8:30. Well, my time, 8:30 anyway. So pretty much near market open. You got in this trade at 26. Pretty much just rocketed up 27.13. So you got out here. Yeah, pretty much that first candle hit your target. That was a simple and easy one. Yep, a really nice 312 setup. Yeah, that was a good one. The only thing that I would say is that you traded, I think, when earnings was coming out. So you have to be mindful of that when if you're looking to trade when earnings comes out or when earnings about to be released. Yeah, and earnings was in the morning too. So yeah, just be mindful when you're trading earnings. But yeah, other than that, fantastic trade. $27. Yeah, close enough to the first target. I'll accept that. Yeah, definitely solid stuff. I'm glad that you mentioned when we were talking earlier that your confidence is building. That's why I always tell you guys, when you're learning something, you want to paper trade and get comfortable. So you don't want to use your real money when you're learning something new, because if you're losing real money as you're learning something new, you're going to get, what's the word? Not dissuaded. It's not the word I'm looking for. Whatever is the opposite of not having confidence. My brain is on 2% today, apparently. But let's just use the word dissuaded, since I can't think of the proper term. So yeah, when you're learning something new, you don't want to use your real money, because if you lose your real money, you're going to lose confidence, and you're not going to want to continue with the strategy, because you're like, oh, this doesn't work, but it's like you don't even know it. So again, you just want to paper trade as you're learning, so you can build up the confidence, and you can build up the comfortability with taking specific setups. But yeah, great job on that trade, Kev. Good stuff. Let's see. Isaiah's traded MYM this week. Today you took MYM, 5 contracts. You got in at 415.18. Is that Eastern time? It said 5:31 a.m. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that you're over there. Gotcha. So you pretty much got in on the first candle this morning, and you got out at 41,580. Very nice, sir. Very nice. So you got out right here. 63 points. Very nice. That was a good one. With 5-2, that's a good win. I'll definitely take 140, 150 bucks in less than 5 minutes any day. And then the second trade, you went short. 5:45. So that's pretty much about 15 minutes later. So that was, let's see, 4/1/27. So here you went short. So you went short pretty much on this candle right here. And then you took it off for 10 points. Yeah, 10 points. Question for you. Did you set up for the second trade? Because you only took 10 points. For the second trade, did you, what's the word I'm looking for? Did you take it off early because you were leaving to work? Or what exactly? Like, did you have your take profit maybe 50 points away, but you took it off early? Like, what was the thought process of taking it off so soon? Because that was pretty much like a 10-point trade. And this candle died about like 100 points. So just trying to get the thought process on that. Gotcha. All right, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. Nonetheless, fantastic work. Really good trade on that one, and the long side too. How did you feel during both trades? Yeah, definitely. Uh, I would feel a little like annoyed based on like what happened right after you got off. I've been there, you know what happens. In moments like that, when you get off and then like a big move happens and then it goes in the favor that you said it would, a way to combat that, like the annoyance, like of course you can feel annoyed, you can feel mad, etc. Um, Thankfully, from what it sounds like, you didn't act upon that emotion and go back and place a trade, which is great. I always like to bring it back to with that process so it doesn't like take you over. Always remember that hindsight is 2020, because if you got off because you had to go to work and you took your 10 points in profit and it shot 100 points in the opposite direction, you wouldn't feel mad at all. You'll be like, ah, I'm so glad that I took this trade off early and that I took it off when I did, because I would have been smoked when it went against me. So if you really like think really deeply into emotions when we're trading, you can just see that a good amount of it, at least maybe half, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending what you get emotional about. But most times that I see people get emotional is like, oh man, it did this after I got out, or it did this after I got stopped out, and X, Y, and Z. That's super easy to reframe in the sense of just bring it back to that. Hindsight is 2020. Oh man, it stopped me out, and then it went 50 points in my favor. But what if it stopped you out and then it went 50 points against you? You would be super happy that it stopped you out. So you can always bring that, you can always remember that to just bring you back down to earth and remind yourself that, hey, you followed the plan, you did your job. That's all you're here to do. Follow the trade plan. Anything after that is not up to you. It's up to the market. Overall, I'm building the confidence using the strat. I was glad I didn't come back and trade because I wanted to pretty bad. But I remember the base hits. Yep, 100%. Fantastic performance. 10 out of 10 performance I would give you on that trade. Because even though you felt and you wanted to come back and take a trade because of what happened, you controlled yourself and just let it go. The biggest thing when it comes to trading is how you control yourself when you do get emotional. Because again, you're going to lose trades. Things like this are going to happen every single week. That's out of your control. It is what it is. Move on. There's going to be another trade. And definitely with the base hits, because all those little bits add up. I was talking to somebody about this today, or maybe yesterday, one of my buddies, and we were saying, like, don't try to go for those like $5,000, $10,000 trades every day, because the market might not give that. And you're here giving $1,000 trades over, or you're giving $1,000 trades up, trying to make this big amount. I'm like, dude, you literally made like 2,000 a day, but you're here trying to make 5,000. And in the last month, you let $30,000 go down the drain when you were up 30K because you wanted 5,000 a day instead. Let somebody give me $2,000 a day for 2 hours of work. I'm taking that. Like, hello? Anyway, I was talking to you about that too. I think it was this morning or last night, and I was talking to my friend about that last night too. So, like, let's look at the screenshot, right? $100 a day, an extra 25,000 a year. I will be super happy to make an extra 25K a year by pressing a button for less than an hour a day, on top of whatever it is that I'm doing besides trading. Even 200 a day, that's 50K extra a year. 400 a day if your account is there. It all adds up. Always think about the big picture. Don't get so caught up in one day or 1 week. It's about the big picture. Yeah, Kev. Yep, we always have to catch ourselves because the mind is always going to kick in that greed or that revenge, all that stuff. It's all hindsight. If Because of course, if I knew it was going to do that, I would stay in the trade. But unfortunately, I'm not Miss Cleo, and I do not know the future. I need to get another broker that I can trade equities and options. I'm restricted on TOS because Isaias, remember, with Thinkorswim, you just have, no, you can't actually. I wonder how that would work. Isaias, you know what you can try? You can open up a new individual brokerage account, because I know for Thinkorswim, like for my futures account there, I have to enable margin on the account, and then the futures account is attached to that account. But because you have margin enabled on like the options and equity side, you're limited to PDT if you're under 25K, but the futures portion isn't affected by that. So what I'm thinking as a workaround that you can do, you can open up another individual brokerage, don't add margin to it, and don't add the futures account to it. So now you have the individual brokerage with futures, and then you have the other individual brokerage, just cash account, no margin attached to it. That way you can trade options and equity on that. That'll be a good workaround. You can call Schwab and they'll help you out with that. Yeah, Isaiah, the Essentials Trading Options, that's the one that I'm going to add the futures course to. This Sunday, we're going to go over the class live, like the course live. And then I'm going to have another class for the futures course next week with more refinements. This Sunday is going to be at, when do I have it? I have it the event. I think it's at 12. Yep, 12 noon on Sunday. So that'll be, I think that's what, 9 p.m. your time? It's either 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. your time. So should I keep my Webull to trade options and have the prop firm to trade futures? That's up to you, Kev. You can do both. You can have like futures on Webull as like your personal account, but you can also use the prop firm to, I wouldn't really say practice because that's what paper trading is for. But I will say with the prop firm, since you'll have more leverage that you might not be able to afford in your regular accounts, you can use that. And then the payouts that you get from the prop firms, you can use that to fund your personal account, which is what most people do. Sweet. And I think we went over some questions about the prop firm when we were chatting the other day, but any other questions, just let me know and we'll go over it. All right, let's get back on topic. If you guys let me, I will talk to you for hours about the psychology stuff because I love it. And there's so many avenues we can explore. Do you use the strat to trade futures? Definitely do, Simone. I use mainly the strat. Well, yeah, I use mainly the strat. I do use fibs and some ICT concepts. Fibs, I was taught to it by trust. That's very different how I trade that compared to the strat. I also use some ICT concepts, but more so in a like sprinkle on top method, in the sense of I'm not going to base my trades off of ICT. If I'm going to take a strat trade or like a trade off of the fib levels, I'm going to use like ICT as like, oh, cool. There's a strat setup and it also bounced off a fair value gap to get more confluence. But my trades are never based off of ICT. They're always based off the strat if I'm trading strat, or fibs if I'm using fibs to place those trades. Hopefully that answered your question. But yes, to keep it simple, I use a strat for futures. There's in the strat playlist on my YouTube channel, I had a class where we went over trading the strat for futures. So you can go through that material to see pretty much what I've learned, my experience, and how you would use the strat to trade futures, because you need to be a little more picky about your setups, especially when it comes to futures. All right. What other trades do you guys want me to look at? If there isn't anything else, we'll wrap up in the next 5 minutes and go enjoy our Friday and turn our brains off. Also, as you guys give me more trades, I'm just thinking about all these things that I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning. Monday's Labor Day. I usually don't trade Labor Day, but if you guys want me to, I will go live on Monday and we can chop it up and see if any good setups appear. Isaiah, glad to have you in the group. Welcome to the community. You definitely will. I hold everybody in my group accountable, and I'm going to call you out when you're messing up, because I call myself out when I'm messing up too. All right. Any other trades that you guys want me to look over? I'll give it another 3 minutes, and if there isn't anything else, we'll wrap up and go turn our brains off. Where can I find info on the futures class? So if you're in my group, Simone, I'm going to have the class on, where is this? On Sunday. You can join my group with that link below. Or you also have the option of purchasing the options course, which I'm going to add the futures course to. But if you're in my group, you'll get access to the live class. But the material in the course itself, you'll need to buy that separate. So essentially, I'm going to have the course live with my group. And then I'm going to take that recording and other material that I'm creating and putting it into the options course, which will then become a futures and options course. So everybody can have everything in one spot. But yeah, you have the option of just joining my group. You can also get the course, however you want to do it. Whoever does get the course, as always, you get lifetime updates for free. So whenever I update the course, that'll be free forever. Of course. All right. Doesn't look like there are any other trades that you guys want me to look over. What was everybody's biggest takeaway from today's session? And what was the biggest thing that you learned? Type it in the chat. Also, Isaiah, since you're in my group and you got the course, you have full access to me. So if you have a billion questions, I tell this to everybody that I work with. If you have a billion questions, please message me with a billion questions. My best students ask the most questions, and don't ever feel like you're bothering me, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to get you to where you want to be. So don't ever feel like, oh, I'm asking admin too many questions. If you have to ask me a billion questions, please ask me a billion questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Somebody mentioned oil to me yesterday too. I haven't looked at oil in a while. And that was sheesh. Holy crap, that thing got obliterated yesterday and today too. Yeah, that thing was freaking sheesh. What was that? Let's say hit these targets down here. 198 ticks. I'm going on vacation with that move. Do you ever deal with gold futures? No, I used to trade gold like on Forex because my cousin and some of his friends were super into it. So I messed with it. I traded gold futures maybe like 5 times in the last 2 years, if that, but not really. No, Simone, if you pay for the course, you get access to the group too. So if the course gives you access to the group, or you can just stand alone by join the group. So the options that you have is, if you join the group, you're going to be able to attend the live class, but the course will give you all the material after the live class. Let's see. Being aware of hindsight after you get out of a trade. I've had so many trades run after I exit for a few points. Just got to be happy with the points and move on to the next one. 100%. Isaiah, so with the course, you got access to the group. You just messaged us in the group, so you're already in there. You already got access to it. So you're good to go. And yeah, hindsight, it messes a lot of people up. Definitely got to practice gratefulness and, being happy with what the market gave you. Because people get so caught up in making like a lot of money or a lot of profits that, oh, gotcha. My bad, Isaiah. I read that wrong. Yeah, so, when it comes to trading, you got to be grateful for what the market gives you. That's why I always tell people when you're in these trading groups, don't look at the profit section because you're going to be looking like, oh my God, they're making 2,000 a day or 5,000 a day. I want to do that too. But if you haven't even made $100 consistently, you have no business looking at trying to get $1,000 days, $2,000 days, $3,000 days. So just keep that in mind. You have to start somewhere. This is your journey. Don't ever, you can look at other people as like motivation, but once you start to compare yourself and trying to attain that when you're not there yet, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And always bring back, that thought process to be humble. If I made $100 or $200 in less than an hour by pressing a button, I'm going to be happy with that. People work 8-10 hour shifts to make $150, and we made it in less than an hour, super comfy at our home or on our phone. So you got to be happy with that. And one thing that one of my mentors mentioned, Brown Strat King, he mentioned, let's have the mentality, or not the mentality, but let's look at it this way. In our regular job, we get paid every 2 weeks, but people want to get paid every single day from the market. That's not necessarily realistic. Granted, at a regular job, you're guaranteed to make that amount by the hours that you put in. But when it comes to trading, you can put the hours in, but you can still lose money, which is, you can take that risk. But the way I like to look at it is this. When it comes to trading, I'm not expecting to win every single day. All I expect of myself when I start trading is to follow my rules, follow my discipline, and make sure that I control myself if I get emotional. Because that's my only job. Follow my setups and just wait. That's literally your job as a trader. Wait until your setup appears, execute, and then wait and do nothing. Easy peasy. Well, in mentally or saying it out loud, it's easy, but it's literally as simple as that. The hard part is everything in between: the impatience, the revenge trading, the emotional trading, the trading psychology. That's what makes trading hard. But other than that, trading is super simple. This does that, you do this. This doesn't do that, you don't do anything. Easy on the technical side. The mental side is the challenging part. So once you get the mental part down, you'll be good. And remember, I've been doing this for 4 years and I still get emotional sometimes. But the biggest thing is not acting on those emotions and understanding, hey, I'm feeling this way. I got to take a step back. And I'll get annoyed too. I'll be upset. I had a trade stop me out by 2 ticks. 2 ticks. I remember that happened a week or two ago by 2 ticks. And then it shot up 80 points in my favor. I'm like, really? That's how you feel, market? I was super annoyed. I had to go for a walk. But, it is what it is, as I always say. So just follow your rules. Tomorrow's another day. Some days we'll win, some days we'll lose. But as long as your strategy and your setups are profitable, you'll come out on top every single time. All right. We'll end the class here because I'm going to continue going off on tangents. And I want to go relax. Simone, saw you joined up. Glad to have you with us. Any questions you have, please let us know, or let us know in the group, or send me a message directly, and I'll help you out. Other than that, thank you guys for attending. Thanks for sharing your trades, asking your questions, all that good stuff. Remember, for tomorrow, for those who are in my group or the groups that I support, I'm gonna have a class over TradingView. So if you want to learn how to use TradingView, that's gonna be 2 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And then for those in my group, 12 noon is going to be the futures class. So be sure to attend that. Other than that, enjoy your Friday, everybody. And I will see y'all then. Have a good night.